Yo, so here we are, Star Spangled Gamblers. I think we're up to episode 4. I'm your host, Keendawg, and I'm here with the real genius behind this podcast, our good friends Zoltar
What up?
and Pratik.
Hey.
Pratik says hello so softly that Zoom doesn't even know to cut over to him. So it's been another exciting week of being inside a lot. Maybe
Quarantine.
drinking too much a lot, maybe eating a lot. How'd you guys do? I think last week we were talking about Anthony Fauci, if he was going to get fired. We were talking about
That was good. I got murdered on the number 2 Zoltar pick, which was Biden's not going to get Obama endorsement this month. That went down in flames. It wasn't even
big
close.
donk,
It was like 2 days after I'd made that prediction.
I mean, I'm all about trusting in Zoltar, but like you were on the other side of the boys. Like Zoltar said no endorsement. The boys, Pratik and Keendawg, were like,
I thought he wouldn't endorse during the worst month of the pandemic, and Zoltar was wrong on that. I think looking back, what I screwed up on is I underestimated the raising money factor. I think Obama wants to raise a whole bunch of money for Biden because Trump's got a whole bunch in the coffers, and that's why they did it earlier than I anticipated.
Yeah, I mean, like, what was he going to do? Throw a fundraiser and say, well, I'm just here for like the free food,
I've been betting with the quarantine up till now. It's been treating me well. I thought the quarantine would nix any fundraisers and would kill any endorsement announcements. And I thought, why would he do it right after Bernie endorsed? Because it would kind of overshadow that endorsement. But no. Zoltar was a complete fail on every aspect of that one.
Shockingly, our good friend Flip over at Old Bull TV has been pointing out that Obama's endorsement has, I think, raised the probability of Biden winning to like 85. So it's still the best deal unpredicted is you can bet for 85 cents. You can buy $1 that the only person running for president on the Democratic side will be the president. Pratik, you got any news, any good news, any bad news from last week to share with us?
Yeah, I had a pretty good week. In addition to the ones that I talked about last week, I made some money on the Maine Senate race. I've basically
the state. I thought you were going to say like the Maine president, the state of Maine's Senate race.
Yeah.
That's
I've been
Susan
predicting,
Collins, vulnerable Republican.
I've basically been of the view that what's her name? Sorry,
Susan Collins.
Thank you. Collins has been in trouble basically since the Kavanaugh hearings. I thought that she totally bungled her handling of that, and it was indicative of her larger political skill, or as it turns out, a lack of political skill. I think she's
That's a
had
pretty
a big
hot take.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can talk about it further, but I think that she totally mishandled the Kavanaugh hearings. I think that by virtue of how long she's been an incumbent, how blue relatively Maine is, I don't think the Republican Party or the establishment had any choice whatsoever to get behind her through her reelection. But she was very much on the line in terms of the independent and swing vote in Maine. And by doing what she did on Kavanaugh, which is trying to kind of have it both ways, but then ultimately confirming him. And by the way, confirming him on the argument that he wouldn't actually overturn the abortion precedents. She sort of didn't make the right all that happy, but invited just a massive
So what did you get in at?
I'd have to check, but I sold off a bunch in the may even have reached the high 60s.
I was on the other side of that. I saw that line stretch out this week, and I saw that a yes buy on Susan Collins was down to like 33, 35 cents. I actually picked up some on the other side because I see a lot of these Senate races as kind of seesawing as we go. But people aren't here to hear us talk about Senate races in November. We've kind of been like holding out our mailbag.
Just really quick on the Fauci. That was a good example of a pump attempt by the cabal. People that are new to the predicted community probably have no idea what the hell a pump is. When I first started out, I saw all the gifs of people pumping bikes and stuff and water, and I was like, what the hell is this shit? Well, what it is these guys find a side, usually with breaking news, and I find that they are like sharks and the feeding frenzy begins, especially in the markets.
Are you gonna name some You gonna name some perps here, Zoltar, or are we
Yeah,
just gonna talk about theoretical bad guys?
I'm gonna drop the hammer on Rainbow Jeremy, but that's for a different market. But just for right now, whenever you see a market that's will Trump fire X person, what the cabal does is they wait for random breaking news. As soon as it happens, they all unanimously overreact to the breaking news, hoping that, like, will someone get fired? Usually be at like 90 cents. They'll buy the 10-cent side. Everyone universally post, oh my God, this is breaking news. It's done. Good game. And the 10 cents usually goes to like 15, 16. They sell. They feel real proud of themselves. So if you want to look at a good pump, look at the overreaction to the Fauci tweet that Trump sent, or he forwarded a tweet someone else sent that said at the end, hashtag fire Fauci. And they all universally went on the predictive boards and said, oh my God, this is it. This is the end. I actually looked at the tweet. It wasn't that bad. And I just said, no, these guys are all overreacting. I bought a whole bunch of more shares. My rule is when you max out, always leave like $100 left. So go 750 in case something like this happens. That's what I did. So my 90 shares went down to like 86 cents because when I saw the cabal doing its pump, I just bought a whole bunch more cheaper shares.
So I mean, it's like hard to say who the good guys are sometimes. Like I like to think we're the good guys because we give out information and don't steal from people. But also it's like when people overreact and do stupid stuff, we're the ones who are also sweeping in and buying, like that was awesome. I was like, oh my God, I can buy shares of Anthony Fauci not getting fired for like 75 cents. I mean, that was wonderful. That was free money, but were we participating in a crime is the question that the
no. Well,
is going to ask.
Kind of in a way, that's a good question because I could have posted, this is bullshit. This is another cabal pump, but I just silently bought a bunch of shares. I guess if I was as honest as I could possibly be, I would have announced it to everyone. But to be honest, I just didn't have the time, didn't have the energy, so I just started buying it up.
Well, Zoltar's got a feed. He's got mouths to feed,
Yeah. But I got a moral code, but it's not, it's not immaculate.
Well, I would say if you're new, or maybe if you're an expert trader, I don't care who you are. I would say that like 90% of what people say on Predicted's discussion boards are lies, but I feel like usually people are pretty honest on Twitter.
They definitely hurt more than they help. The only thing you should use the Predicted message boards for are articles.
Yeah.
Someone links to an article or a tweet or something, but you got to check the tweet actually exists because these bastards will do Photoshop tweets that aren't even real, or they'll take an article from a year ago and make it sound like it was from yesterday. So always click on the links to make sure that whatever the pump is legitimate, but don't look at what they're saying. 90% of what they say is deceptive.
So feeding frenzy on the Anthony Fauci market, but we're here to talk about the future. We are in the business of predicting the future of politics and profiting whenever possible. And you guys have been awesome. You've been just like filling up our mailbag. I make jokes about having a bag full of gold that I carry around from Predicted, but like the incoming questions that you guys are hitting us in our
tips.
DMs.
We get some good tips from you guys.
Right. Tuck leg. Pratik's article about Klobuchar, a great hack to buy her as a presidential nominee. It went viral. Tuck Leg, another trader, was hitting us up in our DMs about that too. So there's a lot of smart people. You'd be surprised what you find.
Oh yeah, they're very resourceful and creative with the way they find a source or an angle on a market.
So we got we're going to try and go through as many of these as we can on every podcast, but also be sensitive to what's important in the news cycle. And I think we all know that the New York primary is like a napalm dumpster fire, like north of 120th Street right now. Will it happen? Won't it happen? Trader Slade hit us in the DMs, and I think I'm going to let my rules cuck specialist Zoltar do this one. But Slade DMs me. Someone needs to do research on if any of these primaries are actually going to get canceled. I see a lot of value in either 20 times 90 cents, that's none getting canceled, or 20 times 10 cents, that's everything getting canceled. But the real focus of this argument is in New York right now.
Yes. Okay. So just really quick. I don't know if
you can see there it is. There's Zoltar's board.
There's my board. These are the top 5 in order primaries that could get canceled. So
wait, what's 5? The people need to know what number 5 is. Pennsylvania? Oh, Louisiana. So okay. You're essentially betting that severity of outbreak.
We'll go down a list after I talk about New York, but as you can see, New York is number 1 on that bad boy.
Yeah.
So
because basically everyone in New York says they want to cancel it.
Yeah, here's the deal. So they passed a budget a month ago, and randomly in that budget was the following language. I'll read it to you. If the candidate publicly announces that they are suspending their campaign, the state board of elections may determine by such date that the candidate is no longer eligible and omit said candidate from the ballot.
Yeah,
now
totally
here's the important language that a lot of people are missing. The state board of elections, that is two people. One of those two people is a guy by the name of Kellner. And people did cite the correct article that mentions his comments, but I think a lot of people missed that he is one of the two people who make the final decision. So let's see.
It's not much of a board.
So yeah, a lot of people were quoting this guy Norm Green or Jacobs. But just so you know, here's Kellner. Here are his quotes. Now, mind you, the bill that was passed a month ago says if everyone suspends their campaign except one person, you can cancel the election. So first question is
conspiracy theory question though. Was it to fuck Bernie, or was it because they saw the coronavirus coming?
I think they did to fuck Bernie, and that's my first point. That why would they randomly throw in this provision in a funding bill, a budget bill? There's no reason unless they're planning on using it. You know, they don't waste time putting shit like that in a bill that they don't plan on using. So anyway, one of the two people, Douglas Kellner, he's one of the two people who is going to make the final call about whether or not they cancel the primaries. And here are his quotes. It would certainly appear Sanders made public announcement that he was suspending his campaign. If no candidate is on the ballot other than Biden, he would be the sole candidate in the election, so there would be no primary. And he says this situation is similar to Republican candidate Weld's suspension of his campaign against Trump. Since there was no campaign, no Republican presidential primary has been slated. And here's a big one. I see my role as just applying the statute. That's a specific quote from Kellner a week ago. Again, the statute says if all the candidates suspend their campaign except for one, then the primary is murked. So the one thing that's a little fudgy that most people haven't noticed is it says may. The state board may determine. That gives them the option. But the way this guy Kellner is talking, he thinks it's not an option. He thinks it's mandatory. And I think
there's only one question to ask at this point, and that is who that matters isn't saying we're going to cancel it, because I've heard the governor only once. I don't know if it just slipped. Governor Cuomo say we're canceling. This dude Kellner. When did he say
that? When did he say that? I didn't see that.
Yeah, when one of his that's the thing. It was in one of those press conferences. It's well, we're looking at canceling the primary or something like that. You've got this dude Kellner, who is one half of the state board of elections, saying,
"Yeah, the other guy is Andrew Spano, and we'll go into him later."
Here's an argument that I hear about the New York primary happening that I think has no relevance at all, and that is, well, it would really upset the Bernie bros if they didn't have the chance to vote for Bernie. I honestly can't think of a political constituency in history that is less relevant than the people who are a part of it think they are. I don't think anyone cares about
the underlying premise of that argument is that you don't have to follow the law if it pisses people off. That kind of is not part of the equation. You have to follow the law as it's written.
No one cares about the Bernie bros.
That.
No one cares
it's
about
not like bros. It's not like, oh, that law applies except if it pisses off Bernie bros. Then it's no longer a law we have to follow.
Yeah. The Bernie bros are the only people who care about the Bernie bros. They're over. They lost again. They always lose.
Okay. And then I got a hot tip. You want me to go into the hot tip I got about the Spano guy?
Yeah, fire away.
Okay, so the second
this is the
guy,
other half of one of the two people on the New York State Board of Elections.
Quote unquote, the Board of Elections. It's two people. The first one is Kellner. Next one's Andrew Spano. And one of Zoltar's friends, we'll call him.
FOZ, a friend of Zoltar.
Yeah, he wants to remain anonymous. So I'm not gonna dox him. But he said, okay, let's see. Jay Jacobs is best friends with Hillary Clinton. Was a Clinton delegate in 2008. Was on DNC, supported Clinton in 2016. Was mentioned in Clinton's What Happened book, etc. So he's in the bag for canceling it. Then let's see what else. Andrew Spano is an elderly man from Westchester, aka where Hillary lives, and was also a Hillary Clinton delegate in 2008. So he thinks there's about a 98% chance he does not give a single shit about Bernie whiners, as he says.
So I want to throw this one over though. I mean, like, look, we can sit here and like talk about legalities and legal loopholes all day long. There's probably a more boring podcast.
We
like
know for
in a New York
sure.
courtroom.
We know for sure one of the two votes is based on what he's saying to the press going to cancel.
Yeah. So
the other one probably looks like he's going to cancel.
I want to go over to. I always do this for Pratik. I'm like, Pratik, why don't you say something smart that will put a cap on this conversation and make the two of us look dumb and make everyone else rich? Yes. So, is there any reason to make a strong conclusion based on this information?
My intuition was to not get involved in this market, but I'm persuaded by Zoltar's analysis. So
trust in Zoltar.
Yeah, I might get in, but I'm still leaning toward not getting in. But I'm certainly not going to buy yes based on anything I've heard.
Yeah, and here's how I see it playing out. Yes, is the Bernie Bros put the pressure on Cuomo. Cuomo tells the board, "Listen, it's up to you. Wink, wink. If you guys don't do what Cuomo wants, then Fredo's going to get upset. So you better allow this election." Then
it is pretty bold to cancel an election.
Yeah, but the guy is already on record in the press saying he's going to do it. So he'd have to pull a complete 180 to do that. And you got to ask yourself, why the hell did they throw this provision in that bill to begin with if they never planned on using it? Yeah. They don't throw something in that on a budget bill a month before for no reason. So, anything's possible. I trust in Zoltar. But if you're going to bet, it's right now it's at 48 cents. Yeah. I think it's probably 75% chance going to go canceled, maybe 80. So I'd say buy it. Definitely I Savage sell at 90 market because God knows what's going to happen last minute. But the odds are in our favor on this one. So go for it getting canceled.
Well, I trust in Zoltar. I'm writing a few no's, I think at like 48 cents too. And hopefully there'll be a few coins in my pocket. I'll buy everyone a milkshake. All right. Back to the mailbag, fellas. Those of you who didn't see it, Pratik wrote a total banger of an article about why he's betting on Amy Klobuchar to be the next president of the United States. You heard me correctly. Pratik is betting on Amy Klobuchar to be the next president of the United States. This turned out to be by far the most controversial article that Spangled Gamblers, which regularly trades in political death pools, has ever written. So we got a lot of mail about that. We're going to try and answer.
And it's one of the biggest payoffs we've ever suggested. This is 1 cent to 99 cents. It's the perfect trade.
And it's got lots of conspiracy theories, like will Joe Biden get the coronavirus attached to it? It's very dark. It's replete with intrigue and mystery, and it has set a real fire in our DMs. So, Pratik, do you want to read Carnitas Taco? That's a Twitter handle out there. Had some feedback. Do you want to read your fan mail from Carnitas Taco?
Yeah, I think he had a number of objections that are worth digging into.
Yeah, we'll go one at a time here.
Yeah, okay. So he wrote, I think you're crazy. Dems are putting a Senate seat at risk to nominate someone abusive to their staff.
This is the Minnesota Senate seat.
Yeah, Klob apparently throws shit at her staff members or something.
Yeah, who gets nobody excited. I think they'll pick someone who won't result in a Senate seat up for grabs in a purple state in a 2022 special. Okay, so in this part of his comment, he's basically making two arguments. Number one, actually three. Number one, that they don't want to have a competitive midterm election, which Klobuchar might cause if she's the VP. Number two, that they might be worried about Klobuchar's alleged record of being abusive to her staff. And then number three, that Klobuchar would not get anyone excited.
I would say fake news, and fake news.
Yeah, if the worst skeleton in your closet is that you've been mean to your staff and it doesn't involve you forcing them to have sex with you or something, I think you're okay.
Yeah, you got a pretty clean shirt in this game. Yeah, I think that one's been litigated. What about the others?
Actually a plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so to be clear, I think if she doesn't get the running mate, it may be in part because of the staff abuse issue. I mean, I was pretty surprised when those allegations came out because, a lot of politicians are kind of mean or not, ideally treating their staff. But the fact that like it actually got reported and was a topic of national conversation, and apparently there have actually been multiple complaints about it and rumors, like it must be pretty bad. Now, I'm inclined to agree that it did get litigated in her campaign. It didn't appear to be an issue during the time she was a candidate. So I continue to believe she's the front runner to be VP, but I wouldn't say it's a total non-issue. I think it will come up in her vetting.
Yep. And Zoltar's done some research on this too, and I'm starting to fall into the Klob bandwagon. I jumped on her. She's the only one I have in the green. Her and the Michigan lady are the only ones that I have. Oh, and the Duckworth lady with no legs. I got those three, and then I'm all no's on everyone else.
Well, so but Zoltar, I love this about Zoltar is we think differently and come to the same conclusions, which can be dangerous too. Because it seems like there's a very clear path. Like the Democrats absolutely like nuclear apocalypse wiped out the Republicans in 2018 by getting educated people and women to vote for them. So like, I don't understand the total panic over whether or not they can check the right identity boxes. Because if they can do that again, you know, who cares about the Bernie bros? Who cares about the like woke college student vote? And I feel like Klob and Whitmer and Duckworth get you there.
Well, yeah, and the one comment that I'm hanging my hat on for Klob is Biden has said, yes, I'm an old fart and I could die in the next 4 years. So the person that's a vice president has to be ready to run the country right away. So to me, that gets rid of Abrams, that gets rid of Kamala, that gets rid of Warren. And the only one left
Cortez Masto, gone.
Yeah, Klob's the only one I feel like he'd be, and I believe that he actually means this. I don't think he's just throwing that out there to sound good. I think he wants someone he's comfortable with to run the country if he has to, you know, drop out because of coronavirus or something. And Kamala, she's not going to do it. She could barely run her own campaign. Stacey Abrams hasn't wasn't governor of Georgia or anything like that. So what the hell is she bringing to the table? The only one that I think could fill that role right away is Klob. So I bought a bunch of Klob at like 26 cents, something like that.
Yeah, and I feel like Stacey. Go ahead, Pratik.
Well, I was gonna say, but so how would you reply to the reader here that they wouldn't want to put a Senate seat up for?
I think winning presidency is more important than the Senate seat, so they would go with that.
I mean, like, how much of a fucking bitch do you have to be worried about? Like, look, Minnesota.
There's no perfect pick
trended
here.
More right? Like, it's trended more right, but like, dude, if you can't win in Minnesota, your party sucks. You know, like I just don't think that that's high up on the list.
Right.
Yeah, I guess the challenge I would throw out to the readers, I would be interested in a historical deep dive on whether or not midterm elections have weighed at all in the calculation of presidential candidates. As far as I know, they haven't, but I think it would be worthwhile for someone to look into it.
Yeah, if they lose, she could still be the senator.
Yeah, and I
think you just got your next assignment.
Yeah, well,
deep
I also I'm skeptical that guys at this stage running for president, I think they're probably too arrogant to believe that their first 2 years in office would be so bad that it would produce a midterm backlash.
Yeah, so that's pretty clairvoyant. I want to go to another reader email. Actually, I'm going to stay on the carnitas taco train. I live in LA and I love a good carnitas taco too. So
what is a carnitas taco?
It's pork, dude.
Is that like a store?
No, it's like the Mexican version of kind of like Carolina roasted pig, slow roasted, nice and fatty and delicious.
Lots of places sell that in Hollywood.
Yeah, SoCal loves a good. Although Al Pastor's better, but you know, might get shot by some people for saying that.
Like a good fish taco any day.
I think it's more of a San Diego thing. They don't have fish tacos.
It is. Love my fish tacos.
Yeah. We love our carnitas tacos. So carnitas continues. My biggest question about Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, is whether events will end up suggesting she did a good job or a terrible job in her brief stint as governor during the coronavirus. That's a good question.
It's a good question. She is going way far towards the shut everything down side of the coronavirus. And from what I've seen, the coronavirus is actually, in the United States at least, not as bad as everyone was predicting. So that might come back and bite her in the ass. That's the way I see it. I don't think she's really got that much name recognition. People are already protesting in Michigan over the shutdown. So I'm not really that impressed by her.
I don't know if this is something, again, I hear like Pratik's voice in my head when I hear this. I don't know if that's like a gift or a burden to her, though, because at some point, like when enough, big burly white men with AR-15s are on the Capitol steps, you start to look like a victim or a martyr and like a hero to, your likely voters.
Right.
So I've been asking myself if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't really know the answer.
Well, one of the ways I like to check, besides you smart fellows, is I like to look at the European betting markets and see what they have. Yeah. And they had the lady with no legs, they had the Michigan lady, they had Klob, and they had Kamala Harris, all kind of like 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, and then it shot up to like 10-1. So with the Michigan lady, I think she was like 8-1. So to me, that's a pretty good sign that she's not got a good shot. If the bookies up in Ireland think it's that way, then they probably got a good reason for it.
Yeah, I mean, I would have said that like on Super Tuesday. I think I'm going to publish a blog about this in a day or so, that there's like a 99% chance that Klob would be the VP. But I really think that coronavirus has changed what voters and pundits and like all the people who decide what matters in elections value. So like, I think that the race is more open, and someone like, I mean, look, sure, Governor Whitmer's done some shit that people don't like and have their AK-47s out literally about. But she's a big girl. She can defend herself. I mean, like, watch her talk. She is not going to get pushed around. She can take controversial stances. She can sit in the pocket and take hits. I think those make her,
two more reasons I'm on Team Klob. One is there's that Freudian slip she had where she said, "I can't wait to be part of the ticket." Yeah. So to me, I watched her expression. One of Zoltar's tips is always watch the video of the interview so you can get body language in addition to what they specifically said. Yeah. And if you watch the clip of her saying it, she looks like she shit her pants as soon as she said it. And then she smiles, the whole crowd applauds, and then she corrects herself. So to me, that was a legitimate screw up. It wasn't just like, oh, I misspoke. And then the other thing is, don't forget that she was part of the let's withdraw all in the same time right before Super Tuesday group. Yeah. I don't think she did that without something in return. Obama apparently was making some phone calls behind the scenes to set it up. And I think that's a carrot they probably dangled in front of her, said, look, if you drop out, we'll put you on the short list for VP. So I think that gives her an edge over the Michigan lady.
I would bet my last dollar that what she told Joe Biden is, I will not drop out until Pete Buttigieg does. I hate that guy. Fuck him. Because I think, it was like an hour later.
They don't like each other.
Gretchen Whitmer.
To be clear, are you saying that they've already brokered a deal, or all she got was a promise to be on a short list?
I think one or the other. I think she got something out of it. I think if I had to choose between her and the Michigan lady, she's got a little more of an edge just based on that alone, because she had a negotiation, she had leverage, so she probably got something from that. She didn't just withdraw just because she wanted to be a team player. I think she said, all right, what's in it for me? And a good chance their answer was, we're going to either make you the VP or we're going to put you on the list of 2 or 3 people who are going to get vetted to become VP.
Yeah, worst case.
Let me ask you this though, Pratik. Who do you think, if it's not going to be Klob, who do you think is number 2?
Well, look, in terms of Whitmer, I told you that I'm staying out of that market. Now, part of the reason I was staying out is I didn't even know, I wasn't sure if she wanted the job. Now, I did see her on Maddow, I think last night or the day before or something. And I was persuaded by her body language and non-response that I do think she wants the job. But I think that her going overboard on coronavirus, and now the fact that she's provoking these revolts and so forth. I mean, given that Biden basically has to win back angry blue-collar white guys in Michigan, I don't know if he wants to take on that liability. I'm inclined to probably stay out at the price that Whitmer is right now, but if we end up seeing another spike or something, I may get in no on her.
What about Kamala? You think Kamala's got a shot?
No, I don't. My view on Kamala is pretty widely out of step with the market. I think she should be under 10%.
Same here. We got unanimous consent on that one.
Less.
Her campaign was a disaster. So how's she supposed to bring in some votes for Biden that he wouldn't get otherwise? And then she also threw Biden under the bus during the first debate with the school busing. You basically called him a racist. So
I'm laughing so hard. People are like, well, she went out of her way to say that she wasn't calling Joe Biden racist. I'm like, you think fucking Donald Trump's super PAC isn't going to cut around that? Like that ad will be on.
Or you don't think that pissed off the old timer, Biden? Like, oh, thanks. You called me a racist on the first debate. Now I'm going to make you the VIP.
Yeah, and she was like friends with her son. Like she was like a family friend, and she probably listen. Kamala Harris was in a primary against Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, to win that Senate seat. Like, you don't think that the Obama and Biden
look what Tulsi did to her in a debate. Tulsi just cut her from the knees down, eviscerated her with 30-second clip. You don't think Trump can pull something like that out?
Yeah, I feel like she's like a trendy football offense that like works for a couple of games, and then defensive coordinators just like figure out how to beat Kamala
she's
Harris.
overrated. She's not going to get it.
Yeah,
I think we should. Carnitas Taco had a point here that I think we should.
Can you say Carnitas Taco again?
Why?
just please do it, please.
Then I think
we gotta get some mail from like Balls Deep 69 or something, just so I can hear Pratik say it.
Wait, can you say Carnitas Taco again?
No. I mean, he makes the counter argument. He says college-educated Dems are not a demographic Biden needs help with. He needs Black and Hispanic turnout and suburban women to continue post-Trump trends. I think Klobuchar's complete lack of appeal to minorities should be disqualifying. Even
but they love Biden. The minorities love Biden.
Doesn't he have that exactly backwards?
Yeah, I mean that's my view. I think that Biden already has. I mean, I think he has more trouble with the Hispanic vote, but I think he more or less has the Black vote.
Yeah, they're not going to vote Trump over Biden. They love Biden. He's part of the Obama crew.
Yeah, and the point is that Kamala, I mean, it's not like she showed any particular strength with the Black vote either during her presidential bid. So I'm not sure.
And don't forget, Obama's going to be stumping for Biden too, so that's going to help with the Black vote big time.
Zoltar, that's actually a huge point, and I wish I had made it. God damn it. Sometimes I think I'm the dumbest person on this. Biden's got to pick someone who can run his campaign for him, because they're not putting him out. I mean, he is not going to be able to run.
Oh my God! Did you see the most recent thing he did on CNN? Oh my God, with Gupta.
Yeah,
he was like, he was reading notes, and he just got lost in his train of thought. And Anderson Cooper kept a straight face, but Gupta looked like my dad looked like when I would come home drunk from a party when I was 19 and try to convince him I hadn't been drinking. He would just shoot me a look just like Gupta shot, which is like, what the F are you talking about?
Dude, it's like watching Joe Paterno late in his career. Like, I know you've been good for a long time, dude, but like, I know your offensive coordinator's making all the play calls too. It's just,
or like watching Ric Flair in some of his last couple of matches. You're just like,
oh, that makes my heart hurt.
Legend just being exploited in front of my very eyes.
Well, we've got a couple minutes left, fellas.
You want me to run down the primaries? You want to go through some mail?
Well, we got some other exciting mail. Burnouts hit my DMs. Delete your account. I have not deleted my account. Have any of you?
No. I do get asked.
That's true. That's true. Obama Oracle.
Wait, that was the whole message? Delete your account?
Just delete your account.
All right.
Delete your account.
Thank you.
So Obama Oracle said, hey, Keendawg, first question for this mailbag. You guys seem like good guys, so I hope you get good ad revenue from social media because your picks on PI aren't generating any
zero ad revenue.
Yeah, thanks.
How much money have I made from this?
So first part of the message, you guys suck. Literally second. Let's get some thoughts on the new 2020 electoral college margin market.
Which begs the question, why would he want our take if we suck?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's that guy's name?
Obama Oracle. He's the one with the really Obama punchable, Oracle. You know that guy?
Oh, one of the best predicted comment trash talking sessions I've ever seen. Was that guy, someone said, where'd you get that avatar? Such a punchable face. His response was, that's my son, you monster.
I hope that was made up too, because it's even funnier.
It's like some random little kid's face. So I hope it's true, because if it is, it's fucking hysterical.
Well,
is there any other community in the world where it's like perfectly socially acceptable to insult someone as a prelude to asking them to help you make money at your own expense?
No,
dude.
The internet is a very odd place. I mean, look at us, for God's sakes.
Predicted is like the greatest bastion for toxic masculinity, but like from men who did not fuck until they were like 30. Like,
well,
it's like
gambling gives you a pretty good charge. And when you know that you've actually not just won, but you've won someone else's money who's been talking trash to you for the last couple of weeks on that market, it just sets the stage for some great trash talking. And God bless Donkey Rescue in Arizona, because they've gotten thousands of dollars of donations just of people talking trash and donating to rescue a donkey in the name of whoever, gave them that money.
Yeah. So maybe
you should see if you could get them as a guest. That'd be a great guest to have on the show.
Boy, it would be. I think that the short answer to this question, though, is I don't think any of us have really invested much time in the electoral college, but all the most expensive brackets are all the like super obvious outcomes, which probably won't be how it goes down. That's sort of
I got no clue.
Answer.
I've actually been getting in the margin market. I mean, Domer on Twitter made the point that the odds here are
Domer's
actually...
one of the pros, predicted pros. For those who are unsure.
I mean, he made the argument that or not the argument, I mean the observation that in the margin markets, the traders are giving the Democrats a much greater probability of winning than the actual head-to-head. I actually think the margin markets are closer to the actual odds than the direct head-to-head. I think Biden's a heavier favorite than what the markets are saying. So I may be overpaying, but I'm getting in on some of the margins that are predicting a comfortable Biden win. I think
a total blowout's possible.
Yeah. So I'm buying some of those at like 7 to 8 cents. I may be overpaying, but there are enough people who think that Trump is more of a favorite than he actually is, that I think these may go in the right direction, even if they're a little too high right now.
I think we'll be coming back to this space. I think there's like a lack of creativity in how people are betting in that, but I'm not going to tell you where to put your money right now.
So I
Zoltar.
have yes.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, so I have yes in Dems by 100 to 149, and then also in the 150 to 209 brackets. And we can go through the map in detail, but these would be comfortable Biden.
Yeah, you max it out, or you got a couple hundred? How much you throwing each one of those?
I'm just putting in bid orders right now, trying to get them at like 7 to 8%.
All right. Well, we're going to come back to that another time, but to bring us home, Zoltar, why don't you show us your board? You got 5 minutes to convince us to make these 5 trades.
All right. Hold on. Let's see if you can see that. Can you see that?
Top 5 canceled primaries.
Okay. We've gone over New York. You know what that is. Puerto Rico. That's the one I've been hammering since it was at 16 cents. It's now at, I think, 45 cents, something like that.
Yeah, that's your kid's college fund.
That's, I'm a Florida guy, and I had some friends in Puerto Rico at the hurricane, and they basically shut down to the point where the only way you could get to the airport is by bicycle. I don't think that they have the infrastructure to set up, print out, and mail all these ballots. If you look at what they've done with their primary date, they haven't even confirmed a new one. So it's right now, you don't even know. It's probably going to be at best in July. I just say no. I think it's going to be too hard for them. It's going to be inconsequential.
So check out, we got 2 weeks ago, I think we did a podcast about that. But Zoltar's been really brave in saying some of these other primaries are going to get canceled that none of us have the balls.
Yeah, everyone said none of them are going to get canceled. You're crazy, but not Zoltar. Zoltar said check out Puerto Rico, and that went from 16 to 40 cents. So if you listen to me, you made a bunch of money. New York is also a nice, tasty one because of the election commission saying flat out, we're going to cancel it. The other good one is Connecticut. I got them at number 3.
You got the whole tri-state area, Connecticut, New Jersey.
Well, the deal with that is that one is very hard to set up. The laws make it very hard to set up a mail-in ballot. And the Secretary of State, I believe, has basically asked Bernie to withdraw his name so that they could cancel it. So there is someone who's actively fighting to cancel that primary. I think that one's at a pretty good price. That's like at 30 cents right now.
Yeah.
Buy it up until it gets to 40 cents, I think. And then the last two are New Jersey and Louisiana.
So you're just basically going in order of outbreak severity. Like if there's a terrible coronavirus situation, like it's worth risking a dime to make a dollar.
Right. Well, and with Connecticut and New York, they're actively campaigning to get it canceled. So it's not just in theory right now. Like people are fighting for it as we speak, asking Bernie to withdraw. And it's interesting. All the Bernie bros are butthurt and putting up a big fight. You know, there's GoFundMe's and Twitter hashtags that are going around, but you don't see any statements from Bernie. He has not commented on either. So that to me means he's at least entertaining the idea.
He's having fun at one of his 3 houses.
Yeah, and then if you look at what he said about the Wisconsin primary, he said people shouldn't risk their lives to vote. This is one of the ugliest things I've ever seen in politics. So it's kind of hard to do a 180 from that position and then say, hey, give me a vote so I can get more of my progressive policies in the platform.
Just looking at your board, I think that it's an interesting question.
Well, for the last two, just let me clarify. For the last two.
Well, hold on. You got the governors of those 3 states trying to do everything together: New Jersey, Connecticut, and New York. So it wouldn't be surpairing if they.
Well, and then don't forget the Louisiana and New Jersey; those are the last ones on the calendar.
Yeah.
So if New York, the bill that got passed last month, it said 45 days before the primary. So that is, hold on, let me pull it up.
Sometime in May, I think, is the deadline.
Yeah, I think it's May 9th. Let me make sure I got that right. Yeah, May 9th. So for New York, we're going to know the answer by May 9th. Now, here's what you do if you're smart. When that announcement comes out, probably a day or two before May 9th, you got to buy all the Puerto Ricos you can, buy all the New Jerseys you can, all the Louisianas, because those are going to shoot up. Everyone's going to say, oh, my God, they're canceling primaries. Now, if Bernie's willing to cancel one, he's willing to cancel the others. I would sell New Jersey and Louisiana after that spike, and I would hold on to Puerto Rico, Connecticut, and New York. Those are Zoltar's picks this week.
There you have it. Pratik, do you want to leave us? We've got 2 minutes left. 1 minute left.
I would say, continue to buy no on Susan Collins in Maine. I'm also surprised that Alabama remains in the 80s. I think that Doug Jones is gone.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And then,
check the blog.
Can I give my quarantine activity pick for Zoltar?
You got 30 seconds.
Okay, if you guys are looking for something to do during the quarantine, go onto Zoom, which is the program we're on right now. Play your friends in a board game. I got the Newlywed Game DVD edition. You can get it on Amazon for like $20, and they put like 1970s contestants from the Newlywed Game. I set up 3 or 4 of my married couple friends, and a lot of shit talking came out. It was fun for all. So
that's right. Zoltar is married.
Play some Zoom.
Ladies,
board game Zoom.
Market.
Board game Zoom.
Pratik, tell them where to find you on the internet.
My Twitter handle, PJ, and then my last name. Yeah. That's it.
Okay. Zoltar.
Yeah, I'm Truth Bomber _. And watch us on YouTube, or you can download our podcast. If you're on YouTube, don't be afraid to make some comments after you watch the pod. We like to hear about how fat I am.
That's right. I'm Keendawg. I'm your host, founder of Star Spangled Gamblers. Thanks for sticking with us this long. If you're still there,
hold on.
And
there we go.
Is that your truth bomb?
You got to multitask in this world.
All right. Good night, team.
All right. I'll finish with the white. Thanks.